Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Lunch and Learn today. How are you? Here I am with Vanessa Hunter, and we have a hidden guest behind the scenes today that we're going to bring to you shortly. You should be excited because he's going to talk about the efficacy of what we're talking about today, which is prospecting automations. This is going to be amazing. This trip's my trigger. Vanessa, how about you?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about our special secret guest. Super
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
about that. And you know why? He's a stat man.
Yeah.
I love people that have stats. I love people that can share their numbers and know their numbers. There's nothing that sings to me more than that. So yeah, excited,
Isn't
Joe.
that true? That is totally us. Like me and Vanessa, we are numbers hounds. Like we get a text every morning with all kinds of numbers on how the company's doing, what's going on, and it is our lifeline to kind of what's going on and how you guide the ship. I think what they say is if you're not tracking it, you can't improve it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Anyway,
that's exactly
all
right.
right.
Hey, Machen. Hey, Natalie. Andrea. Welcome. Andrea and Andrea. Welcome. Welcome.
Awesome.
Good
And
to
what's
see you
everybody having
guys.
for lunch today? I am so freaking hungry. I could eat this. Well, yeah, I could eat anything right now. Just bring it. Bring it. Like I'd love some tacos, as always. I
Yesterday was
know.
Taco Tuesday, Joe. You
Oh,
know what cracks me up about Joe, you guys? That man can eat. That man can eat like nobody I've ever seen in my life. It is crazy. And I think, honestly, secretly, that's why we do lunch and learn so he can talk about food. I think
my
that's what we're doing here.
grandmother used to love cooking for me because she'd cook and serve me a whole plate, and I'd scarf the whole thing down. And she would, "Did you want some more, honey?" I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I do." Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I don't. There was
I've
not
never
enough
seen him
water to
turn
that.
it down, Joe. Hey,
There you go.
welcome, Bob. Welcome, Jill, Teresa. Good to see you.
All
Bob's
right.
having chicken soup with pearl pasta, a bowl of mixed fruit, and cheese and crackers, and tea. What a very balanced lunch, Bob. I'm having a little bit of tea as well.
Yes,
Awesome.
teetotalers. Look at you guys go. I love it.
Tea.
Love
Hey,
it.
Stephen, Jan, and Michael and Brenda. Good to see you guys here.
Awesome. All right, let's get to this.
Let's do it,
You know, I'm like
Joe.
that. We're both like that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah, let's
go.
talk about
Let's do
prospecting
this.
campaigns. I'm excited to talk about this topic today.
Yeah, me too. So, our topic today is what is a prospecting automation? And some of you are like, I don't really know what prospecting is all about anyway. So, you've already lost me on the first slide.
Yep.
Well, back it up, guys, because we're going to break it down into very fundamental elements
Yes.
right
Yes.
here, right now on the Lunch and Learn.
Yes. Let's do it.
So,
Let's do it.
let's start, Joe, with what is a prospect?
Yeah. Well, it's possible customers and clients. Like that's it. It's really, really simple. And I know this may be rudimentary to you, but there are some people out there that just don't understand this. And we're going to talk about the difference between prospecting and marketing as well, because that's a big deal. So, anyway,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. All right. What is prospecting?
Well, goodness, prospecting is finding possible customers or clients, kind of like the prospectors back when they were digging for gold. They were prospecting for what? Gold, right? Well, so are we. Gold just happens to be customers, right? That's what it is. We're prospecting for new customers and clients.
That's it. It's as simple as that, guys.
It really is. Yeah, basic.
So, next question, what is a prospecting automation?
Now, this is where I get really excited. So, a lot of you know what a prospecting automation is via email. It's probably over half of what your inbox is. It's somebody that's trying to prospect you as a new customer, or you're an existing customer and they're trying to sell you more, right? That's pretty much what it is. But the ability to communicate directly with a possible customer or client in a unique way that will get their attention, that will
Yeah.
set you apart from all of your competition. Like really they will see your message. And that is really what we're talking about today. And before we move on to the next slide, because the next slide is important to me as well, there's a difference between prospecting and marketing. And today we're going to talk about two areas of prospecting in the real estate space. Two areas of prospecting. Now, you may think that like top of mind is a top of mind campaign is prospecting. It's not. It's marketing. because you don't have a specific customer. You probably have an existing group of customers that you're staying top of mind with. You're not prospecting to find new customers. What you're doing is you're marketing when you're doing those type of activities. But today, we want to talk about how to prospect, how to find that new customer. You know their name, you know they want your service, but you don't know how to get a hold of them. You don't know how to get their attention. You don't know how to get your phone to ring. And that's what we want to talk about today. So I am ready to move on.
Awesome. So let's talk about the key components of a prospecting automation. When we talk about sending an automation, we're talking about physical cards and gifts that come in the mailbox. That's what we're talking about. Now, this should not take the place of anything you're doing. It's an add-on to what you're doing, but it's an incredibly effective add-on. And when I mentioned earlier about our special guest being Statman, he's going to share the efficacy of this exact method, which is getting people's attention in a huge, huge way. So grab their attention with humor or a topic of interest.
Yes.
Educate them in an informative and engaging way. Have a call to action or use a QR code for more information. Joe, do you want to, let's expand on that really quickly when we talk about a call to action or using a QR code.
Yeah, absolutely. There should always be a call to action of some kind, which is, call me, click this link, go here, something to let the customer know. I know this sounds stupid, but if you don't tell people what to do, they're never going to figure it out, right? You have to let them know, like, I want you to do this, and they will go do it if they're so inclined. But if you never tell them and you just wait for it through osmosis, probably not going to happen. But the QR code, remember, the trick here is converting them from a physical piece of mail in the mailbox power world to a digital asset or, link, customer, whatever you want to call it. Now, there's a whole lot of ways this happens, but the QR code is the most effective way. And we can all talk about how bad the pandemic is. But listen, folks, I'm the ultimate optimist, right? It taught us something. Everybody in the world knows what a QR code is now, or you'd starve in a restaurant. Right? You'd starve, but everybody knows, and the phones are set up for it. You don't have to have a special app. It all just freaking works. And I just I love QR codes. I'm a huge proponent of the, quick reference code. That's what it stands for. QR, quick reference code, made by Toyota to track parts.
There you go. So, and then our next tip is, if you can send a gift that ties to your message, you should definitely do that. And the reason you should do that is that your recipient will appreciate the creativity. They're not going to overlook a box that comes in the mail, right? And the law of reciprocity will kick in. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Yes. Joe, let's talk about the gifts. What we're talking about when we say tying a gift to the message. And here are just a couple of quick ideas, but sending someone a card that says, hey, I just popped by to say hi, with popcorn, for example, with some popcorn. The key to this business is blah, 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 with a key, with a physical key. You're not just hitting them in a visual way, you're hitting them in a tangible way. And that has such a massive impact. One of the ones I love is, I barely know you, but... and send them the cinnamon bears, Joe. What a cute, creative way to do something, right? And to get into someone's mailbox.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know, my partner here, Vanessa, this is her superpower. Like, this is truly one of her superpowers, tying a message, creative message to, a gift. And the cinnamon bears, I think, was Deb Morrow that pretty much did that. And that's awesome as well. But, it leaves a lasting impression. Have you ever dealt with a business where something creative showed up and it was special and the message was tied to whatever it is that showed up? I remember a couple of boxes, and I'd open them up, and in the lid of the box, it would have a special message. And then I'd pull out the product, and oh my gosh, there's another message in the bottom of the box. And I'm like, wow, like, that would say, hey, you're out of product. Maybe you should make an order. Like, wow, that's creative. And I just love that stuff. Just love it. Yeah.
It's cool. And then, of course, we have our laser engraved products, which include this laser engraved dice cup with a card that would go, hey, I thought I might roll the dice and reach out to you, or whatever your message is, whatever your business message is. And then the next one is trying to get my foot in the door with the footprint art. So all of these are just examples. We have so many. I mean, you could send brownies with, here, let me sweeten the deal. Or, I mean, there are just so many different messages that you could send with gifts. But anytime you can tie that gift into your message is a great, great idea. All right.
Yes.
Moving on, Joe. I know we're
Hey,
excited to bring on our secret guest with
I
this next
am.
slide.
Yeah, I'm super excited. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put him on stream and I'm going to talk really nice about him because I love this guy. He's amazing. We both do, right? So anyway, welcome, Steve Angeline. Welcome to our Lunch and Learn today. How are you? And where are you?
Joe, I appreciate it. Here in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. I appreciate you keeping me in the green room. The food you laid out here was fantastic. In fact, my Chick-fil-A was good.
Chick-fil-A. Now I'm really hungry. Okay, we're going to stop talking about food. I have not been fed the last couple hours, so I'll have to deal with that. Anyway, listen, folks, I want to introduce you to Steve Angeline. He is a professional realtor. Now, I want to start with this. He wasn't a professional realtor 4 years ago. So about 3 years now, he's been a professional realtor, and it was kind of dictated to him. His son decided to become a realtor, and his wife said, "Oh yeah, your dad will do it with you." And he's like, "What? I'm gonna be okay." And all of a sudden, he's a realtor. But this guy is a marketer. He understands sales. He understands process. He understands numbers. This guy is in business, and he just goes out and gets it done. He has no fear. He is relentless. He knows exactly what to do and how to get something going on. He just created a course for sale by owners and expireds. And he's got the proof behind it. Like, this stuff actually works, which is why we have him on here today, because we want to talk about those two things. When it comes to real estate, there might be more than these two, but I don't know what they are. I've seen a lot in the realtor marketplaces in regards to marketing, but when it comes to actual prospecting, for sale by owners and expireds are people that have raised their hands and you know their name, you just don't know them yet. And that's what prospecting is all about. And that's what we want Steve to talk about today. That's why this is so important to us, because we understand the efficacy. We know if you'll spend the money and you'll use what he's teaching and what we've got, you are in a winning situation. So Steve, welcome. And please, before we move on, share with this audience, your experience and anything you want to add that we've missed, probably, because we're not realtors.
I want you to write that all up for me, how good a guy I am, and I'm going to give it to my wife, put it on the refrigerator. Okay. So
no problem.
Better yet, we'll send it to her in a card.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. So,
with some gummy bears that say "Steve's so awesome we can barely stand it."
Yeah, there you go. So hey, you hit the nail on the head for real estate. There's prospecting and there's marketing. And what I teach agents is they need to spend all their money on prospecting and very little money on marketing until they make money. Okay. Marketing is casting this wide net. Your hope. Okay. And hope is not a good business plan. Okay. So you need sales. So you got to spend your money on prospecting. And there's only two avenues of prospecting in real estate. And that's exactly what you said: FSBOs and expireds.
Right.
So that's where the road and the rubber all hits at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know you've got some numbers, and I don't know if you want to share those numbers now or after we take a look at your campaigns, but your automations. But you tell me. We're ready to go.
Yeah. So let's just probably a little background. Okay, you covered a little bit where I got 40 years sales experience. Okay, 35 of those years running my own company, semi-retired, and like you said, my youngest son at that time, who was 24, announced he was going to become a real estate agent, and my wife said, "Great, Dad'll do it with you." And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm just figuring out how to use the clicker," And And so, but then I thought, how hard can this real estate thing be, right? You know, there's no big deal. So got into it, and everybody started saying, you got a cold call, you got a cold call, you got a cold call. And I had never made a cold call in my life, never. And
Wow.
I realized that at that time, so this was 4 years ago, at 61, I got anxiety of, you know, calling, you know, and they say, you know, you'll come up with all these excuses. And I did. I got to go walk the dog again, you know. You know, so I needed to find a different way. And what I started to do was go to for sale by owners, FSBOs, their open houses, and then email them. And that was 2019. No sales in becoming an agent in 2018. Go to open houses, follow up by emails, and we did about $5 million. So we went from no sales to $5 million just going to the FSBO open houses and following up by email. So I figured that was 75 open houses. We got 10 listings. 2020 comes along, and I tell my son, okay, we're going to go to 150 open houses. Well, then COVID hit. Okay, COVID hit, no open houses. So I needed to come up with a different way. I didn't have their email addresses because you only get that by face-to-face. So I said, okay, I'm going to start mailing. And I started mailing my letter because I could get their name and I had their address where they were living. So I started mailing $1 lottery cards. And I had 2 people call me back and say, hey, thanks for the lottery card. I won $50, but I'm not going to list with you. And I says, oh, great. So then I realized, well, I can't keep sending out $1 lottery cards because the average FSBO quits between the 40th day and the 80th day. Okay. So got to hang in there. It's the long game, right? So about that time in early 2020, I got a white envelope in the mail. And I looked at it and I thought it was junk. And I opened it up real quick and okay, it's junk. And I looked and it had a picture of my car on there. And I says, who's sending me a picture of my car? This is freaking awesome. And I read it, and I went through a red light in Maryland, so they took a picture of my car and they sent me the ticket. Okay? and I realized, I said, that caught my attention. But it only caught my attention because it was my car. Mm-hmm. And so then I kind of decided, well, how do I change my mailings? And thus, Banner Season was there. And then I kind of said, well, what if I put the FSBO's picture of their house on the postcard? And that's what we started doing. This was about March or so, right when COVID was really getting, you know, it was only going to last for a couple of weeks. Right. Okay. So I'll mail a couple times.
Right? Flatten the curve, right?
Yeah. Mail for a couple times, then go to the open houses, you know. And so we started mailing heavily. And then I realized it's all about them, not me. So I took all the propaganda off the postcards, you know, the typical agent picture and all the slogans and all that stuff, and took it out there, just a clean card, picture of their house. I'm your backup plan. I'm here, right? I'm your backup plan. And so we started mailing, and so we got very successful at this. So because I don't call. I haven't called. So I've done 3 years. My first sale was February of 2019. So 3 years, we've done $24 million in sales and not one phone call. And out of that, let me go over my numbers for the last 2 years, just using Mailbox Power. So this is just using Mailbox Power, just mailing. So we contacted 605 FSBOs. We sent out 5,700 pieces of mail. The average per FSBO, if you do that math, is between 9 and 10. So 9 and 10 weeks, they get one mailing every week. We spent around $3,500. Average was about $5.75 per FSBO. I had 35 of them contact me back. 35 responded to my contact, coming back, which is almost 6% return. And then out of that, I got 18 listings and over $10 million in sales. And then my last line on my thing is total commission earned, lots. And so that was just mailing. And there's some keys to it, obviously. You got to be consistent. You got to be relentless. You got to keep mailing. People say, oh, when do you give up mailing? And I tell them LSD. Until they list, they sell, or they die. I'm mailing.
Now, Steve, hold on. I got a question for you. That was 2020 or 2021?
Last 2 years, 2020 through 2021, 24 months.
And you spent how much?
$3,491.
And the sales were how much? Just to clarify.
$10,237,300.
Okay. And from what I know, realtors don't go broke with their commission rates. So okay. So, all right. So you traded $3,500 for $10 million in business.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure the audience was clear on, kind of what happened. Okay.
Right. So the longest I've ever gone mailing somebody was 37 weeks. Okay. Wow. 37 weeks. Guy called me up and he says, is this Steve Angelon? I said, yeah. He says, Kelly Reamer. And I says, Kelly Reamer, you're in San Francisco. And he says, how the heck did you know that? I says, you're the only FSBO who's also an absentee owner trying to sell their house from San Francisco, and you're the only guy I'm mailing in California right now. And he says, look, and I'm tired of this blankety blank. Just list it. Will you list it? I go, yep, I can squeeze you in. No problem. So, and so, it's been very successful to me. We also have started going down the path again for expireds. Didn't do expireds the last 8-9 months because the market's moving. There are no expireds.
Right.
Anybody who's expired, there's a problem, right? If Sally can't sell it in this market, do I want to inherit that problem? No. Mm-hmm. So we're, but now the market's turning a little bit, interest rates going up a little bit. Some stuff is coming expired, especially now because the people say, God, you sold your home and Jim sold his home in 3 days and now it's been 30 days. I need a new agent. Right. Well, no, it's December versus May,
right.
In that. So we're back on the expired bandwagon again. Different approach with them. Expireds go out 10 mailings every 3 days. So 30 days, because the philosophy behind of expired is if you don't get it right away, then they're not going to relist. Right. So it's a little bit different philosophy with that. We are currently mailing probates, but that's getting into marketing.
Yeah.
And we're getting into absentee owners, but that's getting in again into marketing, with that.
You want to show them what you're doing? We've got the slides.
Yeah, sure. Bring it up. Yep. So
right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's show everybody what is going on here. So, what we've done here is we've pulled up your for sale by owner. This is one of your automations.
Yeah.
We pulled up the second one was your expired. So let's talk about this.
Yeah. So first off, I am humbled by the response of Mailbox Power to create automation. We need to go back. Okay. Because for up until August, just past August, it was taking us 20 minutes to set up a 5-week drip. Grab the photo, put it on there, put it in, do all that stuff. It was taking 20 minutes to put it in, and it was taking us 5 minutes to cancel a drip if they went off the market. So when you folks came out with the auto merge, okay, I think is the correct terminology, keep Justin happy.
Image auto merge. Yes.
There you go. Our time went down to now, once we set up that drip, which is shown on the screen right now, we can set up now 1 minute to set it up, 10 seconds to delete it. So what we've actually done now is, since it's time easy, okay, we've expanded our area. Okay, because I couldn't expand the area before. It was brutal. We were spending 12 to 15 hours a week doing our FSBOs. Now we're spending 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
We've gotten larger chunk of territory. Yes, my son is going down I-95 where there is lots of traffic. He'll leave on Tuesday, and the 45 miles will take him until Friday. So, but not me. So we, it's helped not only to be more efficient, but it's helped us to be more spread out, expand our areas, have more opportunities.
Right.
Joe, I liken prospecting to this, and that is, if somebody said to you, you had to make 10 foul shots. We're going to have a contest. You got to make 10 foul shots. So I would say to Joe, knowing how tall you are, you might have been a basketball player at one time. Okay. But I would say to Joe, okay, you got to make 10 shots. How many shots do you want, Joe? You got to make 10. You tell me, what number do you want? How many?
100.
Okay. You know what my answer is? As many as it takes.
Good answer. Okay.
Right. And so that's what prospecting is about. Okay. When an agent says to me, oh, I want to make, I just had a girl yesterday, I want to make $200,000. How many FSBOs I got to call on?
Right.
I says, as many as it takes.
Right.
That's how many. There is no, because people say, well, why are you mailing? Well, I'm mailing for a listing. No. You're mailing for a call.
Mm-hmm.
You can only ask that 58-cent postcard to do so much. Let the guy rest a little bit, huh? So that's where it's important that you realize there is a lot, there's a lot of work. Is that me? No?
Yep. Oh, must be.
Sorry. I did have it on mute, but it's not in the computer. So I apologize. So, one of the things that I've realized is that, we sign up a lot of people as affiliates, and we get a lot of members joining as agents and whatnot. And I realized that there was this void. And so that's why I am putting together, Joe, an online course through your encouragement back a couple months ago about, FSBO prospecting with Mailbox Power. And the course is going to be out in about 2 weeks. I'm going to keep it very reasonable priced. And it goes through everything from A to Z. To Z, here's the templates. Here's everything on there for FSBOs. If it's received well, I'll then do something for expireds and probates and all that good stuff. So
right. Well, Steve, let's talk about this campaign specifically, because this looks intense, man.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you set this all up, and how much is going out, and how much does it cost? I mean, I think you were saying like $5 or something, but
yes,
it must be because of the free postcards we offer. I think we're crazy. Jeez.
Right. Yes, exactly. So first off, yes, I have it set up on a 20-week drip.
Okay.
And people go, oh my God, 20 weeks. Well, no, it's actually my son's idea, because when we originally set this up, we set it up for 6 weeks because that's what we had before.
Right.
And then he said, well, shouldn't we set it up longer since it's so easy now to delete them? And I said, yeah, let's do 9 weeks. And he says, no, let's do 20. And I was going, 20? And he goes, what's the difference? He says, as soon as they go off the market, go pending or whatever, we're going to delete it. And I says, oh, good point. So that's why it's a 20-week drip. Doesn't mean you're going to do all 20 weeks. The average for 2 years was just 9 weeks. But again, anything that we can do to eliminate more work is that. Now, one of the things that I believe in is you send out a medium postcard or a small postcard. Send out this, your message is the same over and over and over and over again. If your budget is only this big, send out the same postcard over and over and over and over again. 2 years ago, you didn't have a greeting card on the program, and I was sending out small postcards, and I got listings. I like giving them a different look. So I have 4 different medium postcards, just a little bit different look. This still got their house on the front and the back. Verbiage is a little bit different. And then I have a large postcard, and I just repeat it. And then I follow up in case it does go 20 weeks. Like the last 6-7 weeks are all just a small postcard to keep my costs down.
I love it.
So it's
this reflects what your numbers came from.
Yeah.
Right? This is it. Listen, everybody, what you're seeing is the magic. Okay. So I know Steve said he's working on a course, but this is it right here. Yeah. This is the magic. This is what converts, right? Bystanders, right? to calling customers.
Yeah, they call you. And you know what's funny? It's still weird when a FSBO calls, right? Because let's face it. Okay, here's the thing you got to remember, right? Okay, I mailed out 605. Well, I got 35 phone calls back. Well, do that math. That still meant I failed 96% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that's prospecting in real estate. Cold calling gets you 1%. Okay. But it's still weird when they call. And it was so funny. I was driving in the car a few weeks ago and I get this call and I thought it was spam. And I said, hi, Steve Angeline, can I help you? Yeah. Is this Steve Angeline? Yeah, this is Steve Angeline. How can I help you? Yeah, you've been mailing me. Oh, how you doing?
The best phone call in the world to get, right?
Yeah. But you've got to understand. I talked to an agent just the other day and I said, you mail out 100 FSBOs. How many phone calls do you think you should get back? And she said, 40%. And I said, no. I said, wildly successful, 4%. Okay. Average 3%. So, because cold calling is 1%. If you just text, it's 0.5%. If you just send emails, it's 0.5%. So it's been very worthwhile. What you have on the screen now is our expired program. So I changed this up a little bit, and I'm still working on it a little bit because I put the photo of the house on the expireds. Then I kind of felt guilty about that because I'm taking the photo from their past listing, which is MLS, which another agent paid for. Okay, so I got to crop it and I got to change it and do that because it was not the same photo. It was just, I didn't feel good about it, right? Okay. So what I did is I created a 10 postcard drip every 3 days. So it's a blitz. And I decided to make them from my dog. And so, Joe, maybe you can bring up the next screen. It kind of shows you a bigger picture. So I took my poor dog. There is a grammar issue in there that I have corrected, but it's just pictures of my dog. Hey, I wore this stupid looking hat and still no buyers. I even dressed up like a pumpkin and still no buyers. Okay. I took the prime minister from England. I even hired a celebrity lookalike and still no buyers, So I got 10 of these. But the real nice part is on the back. The back stays the same. Big headlines at the top says, "Don't hire a dog to sell your house. Hire Team Angeline." So again, all I'm looking to do is catch their attention. If I send them a postcard with the typical realtor picture on there, and I'm the world's best realtor, and sell with me, I'll treat you right, and blah, blah, blah. No.
Right.
They just throw them away. So, I did have one guy call me back. We've been mailing these now for about a month. That one guy called me back and he says, "Hey, we decided not to list, but I got to tell you, I kept looking. Hey, we got another one, hon. Look at this one." So I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of neat. And the guy said, wow, do you got any more coming? I go, "No, you said you're not going to sell." So that's it. So, because expireds will generally be a fairly large number, in the course of the year. One key, then I'm going to shut up.
Okay.
I tell everybody that contacts me about mailing, the very first thing you got to do is know your budget. You got to know your budget and spend within your budget, because it can get away real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I say, get your budget, understand your budget, and then just work within the budget. If you only send out the small postcard, a 10-week drip is going to cost you $4. And if you got 400 FSBOs on your market, okay, you're going to spend $1,600 for the whole year to put yourself into 400 games. So
yeah.
I'm done. I'm done yakking.
I love it. Well, Vanessa loves this campaign as well. Vanessa, tell everybody why you love this. I mean, you saw this the first time and you're like, what?
Yeah, well, here's what I love about it. First of all, I'm a dog lover, so I love the dog pictures. But here's what I really love, Steve, more than anything, is the fact that you are using humor. You are doing something simple. Anybody can do this. This is not rocket science. You are not hiring out, spending a lot of money on graphic design or anything like that. You're saying, look, all I want is your attention. I'm not trying to razzle and dazzle you. You don't have the typical realtor photo on there, right? You're not doing any of that. And that is the difference. That is what's making you stand out from everybody else that floods the mailbox, is the fact that you're not doing those things and the fact that you have such a unique approach to it. So congratulations. Obviously, you're doing it well. Let me ask you this. You are using Mailbox Power in a massive way for your real estate business. How many hours do you think you spend with automations and setting things up and managing things on, say, a weekly basis?
Sure. So we do FSBOs and expireds. That's the prospecting. We mail absentee owners after they reply to an email. So then that's prospecting. Because they've replied, they then told us, yeah, we're going to sell in 6 months. We set them up. So that's prospecting too. I'm doing my farm area. I'm doing my mini farm area. What is a mini farm area? You've heard of just sold postcards.
Yes.
Right? Okay. I think that's a giant waste of time and waste of life and waste of money. Here's the reason why. You send out one. Okay. Well, you're trying to hit that person on the exact, oh my God, I got Steve's card. Thank God he reminded me I need to sell my house. Oh, geez, honey, Steve sent the postcard. We need to sell the house. Okay. And so my mini farm area is a perfect example. 115 townhouses, small little development. I sold one. It was a FSBO.
Okay.
I made a postcard, put his picture of the house on there, and I said, sold. And I mailed it out to all 115 through Mailbox Power. And I got another listing. Okay, sold that. So now I redid the postcard, put that picture on there, and sent it out to 115 every month. And I got another listing. And then I got another listing. They're all around 600,000. So 2.4 million out of one development. So mini farm area, pick your area, and then just hit them every month for a year.
Sorry, what was that? 2.4 million?
Yeah.
Out of how many homes?
115. I sold 4.
115 homes. You sold 4 of them?
Yeah. Guys,
within 10 months.
Yeah.
115 homes, 4 sales, 2.4 million.
Yeah. But the moral of the story was just sold wasn't just once.
Yeah.
Just sold was every month, over and over again. Okay, so fine, 115, you got what, 115 houses, and I'm mailing them for 12 months times 58 cents. My math isn't that good. $800. Okay, I spent $800.
Woohoo!
But even if I spent $800 only on the first sale, it was
worth it.
It was worth it. And
if you got one. If you got one, it was worth it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I don't think people really think that through. And I love what you said about understanding what your budget is, understanding that you're in this for the long game. This is not a one-hit wonder. You're in it for the long game. You have to know what your budget is. But with our free postcards, and I know, Steve, you're on the executive plan, so you get free small and medium-sized postcards. All you're doing is paying postage on all that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, what a winning combo.
Right. So we're doing probates. We're now mailing the probates. I got greeting cards going out. I got postcards going out to probates, because that's a real long game. That's a 10-month to a year, depending on where you are in the country. Okay. I send my clients, you buy a house with me or you sell a house with me. I just asked an agent the other day. I said, hey, what do you do for your clients? Oh, at Thanksgiving, I give them a pumpkin pie. I says, fantastic. I hate freaking pumpkin pie. I said, so she goes, well, what do you do? I said, 2 postcards a month. You send out 2 postcards a month? And I said, yeah. So I send them a recipe card on the early part of the month. In the middle of the month, I send them a maintenance tip that are both in the design store. Yeah. Okay, that you can get that. So what do I got there? 58 cents times 2 times 12 is I'm spending $13.92 for somebody who already gave me a check. I got a check from them.
Yeah.
So every one of my clients gets 2 postcards a month because I want to interface. And they're not, I don't put anything about there. If you have somebody knowing somebody that's selling a home, or if you're thinking about it, they know why you're mailing them. I'm just trying to keep it top of mind. I had one guy call me in Texas, sold his home in Virginia, moved to Texas. And he said to me, hey, I got a good young friends of ours are moving into Northern Virginia. Do you think you got time to help them buy a house? And I says, oh yeah, I can fit them in. He says, well, their budget's about 800,000. Yeah, we can, no problem. I'll work it in, in that. So you asked, and then I do all my closing gifts. The only thing that I've gotten away from, and this is not a slam on the product, I love the product, I eat the product, is the brownies. Okay. I want something lasting. And this is why I do nothing but the laser products. Okay. I'll spend on a closing gift, I'll spend about $125. I give them, if they're drinkers, I give them the wine thing with the two mugs in there. Yeah. I give them the cheese board, and I give them the cheese board, the wine, and something else I give them. Oh, I give them a lot of the desk stuff, the wooden desk stuff with stuff like that. And I spend about $125 on closing gifts because I want them to last. And this little thing here, this little gizmo up here, amazing. Everybody gets one of these. Everybody gets one of these. In fact, I had a laugh though. One guy's a photographer, and I copped out 4 of his pictures from his Facebook page about these beautiful birds. And I put them on coasters, and I sent him the coasters along with this. And he sent back the picture to me, and he had the coasters in there. He says, I love the coasters and the coaster holder. I said, Jim, the coaster holders for your phone. Oh, Jesus, you're right. That does work great. So,
multi-use.
Yeah. So I sent him a picture of mine with my TV clicker on it. It says, hey, can also be used for a clicker holder.
I love it. That's good.
Yeah. So answer your question. Sorry, I got sidetracked. How much time do we spend? With all our prospecting and everything involved, with Mailbox Power and everything we're doing, I would say 10 to 15 hours a week.
And look what it's producing for you.
And I don't call. I'm not a cold caller. Okay. Power cold callers call Monday through Saturday. Some call Sunday. And to be successful, you better call 2, 3, 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I don't call. I haven't made a call in 3 years.
That's fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love that you're top of mind. I love the fact that even people who have bought from you, you're sending them 2 postcards. And I love the fact that you're staying top of mind. That is so incredibly valuable in earning future referrals from those people.
Yeah. Even if you just go once a month. Okay. Yes. I take it to the extreme. Yes. I take it to the extreme, And the reason I started sending out the recipe cards was that I had one guy's wife call me and says, don't you got something better than cleaning out my gutters? And I says, you know what?
Yeah, I do.
Good point. So,
I love it.
And then I get the calls. Have you tried that recipe? I said, no, I don't try that recipe. I said, you got me confused with somebody who can cook, but it stirs conversations. I get a lot of people just calling me. Hey, I got that recipe card. Thanks for thinking of me.
Hey, Steve, I don't know if you saw in the design store, you mentioned you're sending out that cheese board to people. There's a whole automation around that, sending them charcuterie ideas for their cheese board. So that's a whole new postcard automation that's in there. All right, Joe, we got to wrap this up.
I had to put this on here from a Facebook user. Steve, you make me want to be a realtor. This is excellent information. Congratulations on your success too. I couldn't agree more. I really think I could go crush the real estate marketplace if I wanted to go play just by taking Steve's playbook and going and doing it. So yeah, folks, we're 13 minutes past where we really want to be.
Sorry.
Today.
No. We appreciate all your knowledge and your willingness to share with everybody.
You guys,
this is great stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Steve, any last words?
Yes. If anybody wants the templates for my expired program, I'll send it to you free. I got no problem with that. Just email me, awesome. Steve Angeline, ANGELINE at Verizon, VERICON.net. I'll send you the link. They're in my favorites. You can just have them. My dog does want royalties, though. Okay.
All right, Vanessa, any last thoughts?
No, I think, Joe, we are way over time, but with such valuable information today, such an incredible opportunity for us all to learn from you, Steve, and appreciate you coming and sharing everything with us today. And then, Joe, let's just mention next week we're going to be talking about top of mind automation. So that will be on our list next week. This entire month, if you all haven't picked up on the theme here, this entire month of January is about the art of the automation and how that can save you time and make you money.
Yes. And I'm excited about a couple of them. The big fish automation. That's the one I really like. We got a couple of weeks to get there, but that's okay. So listen, folks, so thankful that you traded some time with us today. We know it's your most valuable asset, and you just gave us 45 minutes, and we really appreciate it. We hope you got value from this. And listen, if you don't have your account set up, you have questions, get into the Mailbox Power, application and actually click on that chat button in the bottom right corner. They want to talk to you. They want to help you. We want you to be successful. We want you to have Steve's story. That's what we want for everybody. We want your phone to ring. We don't want you to make phone cold calls. We just want you to use this platform. So anyway, have a wonderful day. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.